Welcome to another Wild Hearts guide video on making your map as effective for hunting so you don't have to run around as much. Today we're doing Akikure Canyon and this one was quite a bit harder than the other two, but it is quite a bit larger as well. But before I fully get into it, I would like to say thanks for watching. Yeah, there's a lot more people that I didn't think would actually be watching, so it's pretty cool. Wow, I love the lighting on this. And for those of you who liked it, I appreciate it. Shows that you actually watched it all the way through. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. And wow, that looks terrible over there. All right, whatever. So, as we can see, the map, I am over here at the Surprise Hot Springs. This is the main base that it'll tell you to go to once you get to Akikure Canyon and you start using your scanners around. But you'll start over here at the Stone Buddha Cave. You will not be just like the other ones, except for the first map. You won't really be going to this area. This area is just the starting place, so I didn't leave like anything over here, as you can see. So once you get your first base started, you don't have to come back here. This place is totally optional. But the main place I would get is up here on the what's known as Dawn Camp. What it really is the highest middle point in the entire map. It is your main go-to when it comes down to it, because you will find enemies down there. They'll basically use this entire area. Then you've got down there. They'll use that portion sometimes. And then there's that entire area, which your first camp was somewhere down there, but there's sometimes kimono that rides down over there, and then over there. So this part isn't really needed. You'll find kimono that go here, and here. Right here, there's the Raven usually goes here. I haven't. I'm not to the point where they go here yet, or here, but I am prepared for sure, as usual. And then the part that makes this the most complicated, and you will most likely be running through the majority of it, is the caves. I made it so that you can get here, but if the kimono go through here, you will have to run. There will be running between these two areas. There was no way for me to find a zip line type of way, because every time I put one down, it kept getting destroyed. You can use a cart. That's an option. I didn't like doing that because I use the fire for other resource purposes, but it is an option if you're not like crafting or cooking food. If you've cooked enough, you can use the wheeler, whatever it's called, the roller. Sorry, you can use that, but other than that, I don't think it's really that necessary. Honestly, running to these two areas isn't really too bad. So let me show you how I basically have this set up. It's easy to get down to those two areas. All you do is you just jump down and you use your little flight machine, Akikure. Same with down over here. And then I, of course, have the kimono searcher right here. And you can see that there's one down over there. It's kind of hard to see, but I just kind of have it down there because it wasn't able to go up there without getting hit. It happens. So notice how this area does not actually reach over there. The zip lines, the vine, do not reach that way, but you can get there through that camp, through the spring camp, and I'll show you that in a little bit. If you were paying attention a little bit, you already know where it is. But say we need to get down there, then we use this zip line that I put up. And this is where I basically utilized the majority of the zip line. This is why it took so long, because I was trying to avoid using this many. Not possible. So if, say, they go to the little camp over here, that's as far as it goes, and also it's as far as you really need it to. It's easy to get back to there. You could use the base up there and shoot one down as well, but there's not enough zip lines for that. Otherwise, I would have already done that as well. And then I am prepared for over here just in case there's any monster or a kimono that decide to travel to this area. It's very efficient in that sort of way where it can reach two areas, and so this one camp that should have only really reached 3 reaches like 6 right now, because 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I would say about 6 or 7. And then we have this one over here. This one, it took a little bit of redoing because I kept shooting one down to the bottom there, but then you would have to run all the way over there or use a zip line, but it kept getting destroyed as well, so I had to think of a different way. I ended up hitting it up here, and I started from over there, which is where I thought of the idea, because just this one zip line hits both that area and that area, which is great because that's where a majority of the smaller, like the rat fungus, the fungus rat tail and the porcupine go to. And then there's going to be occasional, like the squirrel will come down over here, so I ended up putting this one right here to get easier access. Because otherwise, if I didn't, then we would have to use this, and it would still take longer, because you have to run up the stairs and then get over here. Too long. Zip lines make it so much faster to travel. So, as a little summary recap, just this one camp hits here, here, yeah, here, here. Oh, trying not to hit anything. Not here, sorry. And here. And these 2 areas. So it hits quite a bit. And it's very nice that it hits that many. That's why I like primarily making my camps somewhere near the center where it can hit majority of the area, so I don't have to worry about it later. Now, for the one place that I couldn't reach because the vine didn't really reach it, it's down over here. All you have to do is just kind of do a little bit of a run, and then if you just shoot straight forward, you should be able to hit this building, which will allow you to immediately get to here. I have been able to get to the kimono pretty quickly before they even got to here, just by using this method, even with the small amount of running. There's not much after that. If I remember this correctly, this is going to be like, this won't be the little area you go to, but there is a relic down here you can get for later. Just as a heads up, so just be careful you don't take the small turn. Although, if you're looking for it, it's right there. But you can either run down here, say they were headed towards that pool area. Tends to be a very popular area for the kimono to kind of come down here specifically. And also you can gather some of these lizard dudes. But other than that, this actually hits 2 areas. We'll count that as 2.5 because you kind of have to run. So I would say 3 if you count the halves. Oh, whoops, went too far. So I have my camp down here, and if you look down over on this side, you'll notice there's an opening. And for those of you who are exploring, you already know about this entrance over here. It's very effective. I think it's probably the most efficient when coming down into the caves, because you just need a zip line, and it's the safest way to get down, because if you just drop down, you will have to go back to the top again, because it will respawn you. It'll count as a fall to death somewhat. And then, of course, there will be these rocks around that you'll just be exploding, but later on, they'll just be gone. I'm not sure because sometimes they replenish, sometimes they don't. But once you get to like, I think it's chapter 3, you won't be able, or you won't have to. And this is where one of the kimono ends up coming as well. I believe the raven comes here on occasion. And then the final area, this one hits 2, kind of 3. So this one I was debating for an entire time, but I wanted to be near this well. I still don't use these wells, but they give me a good idea of where everything is. Now, before I had the zipline kind of going straight down, but then I realized that the rat tail goes from here to here pretty quickly. And it was annoying if you had to restart and start running again. To just kind of come down from here and then just start running. Took too long. The zipline would have already been over there, and I would have been around the rock by this point, and I would have been fighting it around this point. So just that zipline alone saves so much time because I wouldn't have to run this ridiculous route right there. And then if the kimono goes from here to here, you can then use this area to fast travel basically, and then zip line down here rather than running this route that goes like outside and then to the right. It's so tedious when it comes down to it. But it also hits another area. I kind of wasted a zip line, but kind of not. So the reason I put this one here is just for the faster travel on this, because I didn't want to have to run all the way through there. And then you just kind of run through here. And this is specifically for the hotspot area for the kimono, that little spring area. This is how I get to here the absolute quickest, because they will be getting here pretty quick. So the zip line definitely helps. And I believe that would be it. Let me make sure I didn't forget anything. Okay. So I only had this here. It's not really required because if I take this off, it doesn't really help find the other kimono. I have one here. I have one up here on a tower, and then one right here. And that's all you really need. Just 3. You could get more, but if you look, it covers the majority of the inside of the caves. And if it's over here, you'll definitely know about it because it won't be on the map. But everywhere else, you have everything in sight. You even have down here, just in case. As you can see, there's one, the spine glider, kind of traveling from here to here. And so, let's see. So he's just down there, right? So all you gotta do is just kind of jump down. And then you can just travel like this. Just a quick fall. There you go. You're at him. Because this area counts as one as well. It's a small little area, but it's worth... Whoop, my bad. It's worth making, you know, the small trip to. Because you can either go down through there, or you can go through here. And that's just as quick as well. And it's got both those areas in mind. So with that, this is, you can do all this by like chapter 2. Majority of these maps you can do by chapter 2, because if I remember, chapter 2 is when you unlock like all the other maps. So this can be done pretty early. You can already set this up after you get all the Tsukumo. Unfortunately, I am still missing one in this area. I will have to go through an entire video just to... Not one of mine, just somebody else's videos. To find one of these kimono, because they are missing somewhere. I've even, like, zoomed in super freaking close, but just not there. I don't know. I'll have to look for them later. I'm missing only one, but I said screw it. I'll either find it later or just not care. So, when looking for the Tsukumo, be very vigilant for sure. This is one of the maps that get a lot of people that um just can't find that last Sukumo or just can't find one specific one. And also, a heads up, you're gonna want to look for the Sukumo in chapter 2 because by chapter 3 this stuff happens, a flood, and there's an area that's just kind of locked off. So just a heads up for those who don't know about that. I don't know if it fixes later on, but that's how it is. Anyways, I hope this definitely helped give you ideas on how to make your world. Obviously, I have my main base over here at the hot springs. I just like the hot springs, honestly. But otherwise, if I didn't, I would probably put my other main base right over here because the Dawn camp is way too small. It really is. I used to have the little camp up here, but you could make a base here. It's just a lot harder. It's not. It wouldn't be bad. I guess it just wouldn't look very nice. And it's not that hard to get up here for some of you who don't realize how to get up here. It's honestly not that hard. There's a cliffside. It'll show you the route, essentially. So, just a quick show of what it looks like when you can't or don't know where to fully go, because I just kind of stumbled upon this. I was looking for the highest route or highest place, and this happened to be it. But for those of you who are liking the videos, I do appreciate it. It is very nice to know that I am assisting and that you like the videos. Hope you enjoy. Hope it helps you out. And of course, if you have any other like hints or tips or ideas on what would make it even more efficient, the map more efficient, definitely leave a comment, because we're all here to help each other for sure. And it's nice to see what other people build also, because going through some people's worlds and hunts, it's very underwhelming. Considering that, it's supposed to be your world, you're supposed to be able to, like, build it how you want it, and then you go into somebody's world and they have one camp that's, like, right here. Doesn't make sense. And then they have, like, 2 radars, but there's not one over here, so we can't find it. It's just, like, they didn't even go through the world map. It's better to be more efficient in these cases, but if they're having fun, I guess it's good. Thanks for watching. Have a good day, night, evening. Either one's fine.